Shalom, shalom, I'm Israel. Giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim B'chakadash. The one that said that was the J Master Rule. Say teach you, I came out there pushing his word in truth and sincerity, risking your freedom and your life to do so. It's going to be a quick video, just an update of what's going on in the world, and this is from Forbes.com, also a reputable site. Brothers that's been following for a while know that, these are pretty good sites. So it says, and this is as of, September 21st, 2022. It says Russia is about to draft 300,000 new troops. It won't be able to train them. All right. So we all know what a draft is. A draft is when, there's a conflict or war that breaks out and you don't have enough men to fight. So what do? You take the young men of your country and put them in the army to fight. Now, we know according to the Hebrew laws, the laws of our ancestors, there were certain laws against making a man fight if he had a good excuse not to. If he just had a child, he just betrothed a wife, he just built a house. Of course, if he was injured, he can't fight. And if he was, not courageous, if his heart was weak, he wouldn't be in the army. Of course, but that's because, the Lord was with us at the time. So those men that didn't fight, the Lord would deliver us anyway. But nevertheless, a draft is, bringing soldiers in the army. So Russia now, I guess, because, things are really starting to heat up, they're bringing troops in the army, up to 300,000. So we're going to read a little bit. We're going to get some scriptures. We're going to read everything. It says, Russia will mobilize 300,000 men in an effort to make good its losses in Ukraine and expand the army. President Vladimir Putin announced Wednesday. And those men that get drafted, they're going to die. They're going to die. It says that's a smaller mobilization than some analysts expected, is no more likely to make a difference in Ukraine. The Kremlin will only draft those who served in the armed forces that have certain military specialties. Putin said students, single fathers, and federal legislators are exempt, which is the complete opposite here in America. When you go to college and you take out a loan or you have a federally assured grant, the FAFSA, I think that is included is in a time of draft or a time of war, you could be drafted because that's what you sign up for. The aid, student aid from the government, you have to serve in case of a war breaks out, you see? So it says the goal, according to Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu, is to grow the Russian army from its current authorized strength of 900,000 troops to 1.4 million starting next year. Putin's announcement touched a nerve in a civilian population that, so far, has been insulated against the worst effects of Russia's 7-month-old wider war in Ukraine. A protest broke out in Moscow. The Russian government ordered Russian airlines to stop selling tickets to men between the ages of 18 and 60 in order to prevent their exodus from the country. Look at that. So they're trapped. They're forced to go. Revelations 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Now, what is the second woe? According to the scriptures, woe is a mass death and destruction, okay? Essentially a war. Because we know that's one of the main things that bring a lot of death at one time, a war. So it says the second woe, or the second war, or essentially is the world war, WW2, and the third woe coming quickly, meaning the third world's war. where all nations pick sides and they fight one another. You see, because World War II ended in the 1930s, and here we are in 2022, currently in the state of World War III, which is gonna go nuclear. All right, thermonuclear fire. So they stopped selling tickets to men between the ages of 18 and 60, just to prevent them from escaping. And the draft is coming here in America. You know, it's better advised for brothers not to get too comfortable, because you know that day is coming very soon. But instead of a protest, it's going to be an all-out war against U.S. troops, because it's a lot of guys that's not going to fight in the army, in the American army. The patriot spirit is broken in Babylon. Nobody feels the need to fight for America. You know, especially if you're talking about, you only sending men and not women. With this whole feminism BS and women thinking they equal to men. But yet war breaks out. The only person that has to put their life on the line is other men. You know, and that's not happening, you know. See, during our times when, David was the rule, and all the great men of Israel, the Maccabees, the king would fight with the people and die with the people, if they was going to go that route. But Esau's a punk, man. He sends people to die for him, Nevertheless, it said, even this smaller mobilization probably is more than the Russian army's training base can handle. However, most of Russia's reservists with previous military experience don't receive periodic refresher training after leaving active service. As new draftees, they're going to need significant retraining before shipping off to war zone. Let's get scripture real quick. Joel 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Right, man, so this is time to prepare war. We're in that time now that the Most High is preparing war for these nations, all right? This is the end game. This is the end goal and the end game. And if you go early in the chapter, it tells you why. Because the destruction of our people, the Most High is going to plead with these nations, meaning judge them, as we're still being afflicted to this very day. And keep in mind, America is supplying Ukraine with military weapons to fight against Russia. So what do you think that means? That means that, America's at war with Russia. Jump to verse 12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathens round about. Verse 13, put ye in a sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitude in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So, yeah, man, till next time, man. Things are getting spicy. So, Lord willing, so on.